Hello. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have noticed that I was out of town. Again, about a month and a half ago, I was in Chicago and unfortunately I do not have photos to share with you, but I do have a roll or two of film photos that I can share when I'm done with my current roll. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago that I want to do a May film roundup, but it's clearly June and I'm not done with the roll just yet, so keep an eye on my channel. And then I was in New Orleans for a little bit, where if you missed the video, I'll leave the card here. This time, it was not a trip, it was a vacation. This vacation was a surprise. A surprise as in, I didn't know where we're going, maybe 5 seconds before I approached the clear checkpoint at the airport. Long story short, we went to Point Reyes for a hike and then we ended up staying in Big Sur. Because this was a vacation, I didn't want to do anything besides just reading, eating good food, and relaxing. But I did have my camera on me, and here are some photos. To start this off, while my channel mainly focuses on street photography, because this was a vacation and I didn't really know what to photograph, I decided to call this a photo diary. I do have a little bit of iPhone videos, so you'll be able to see what the scenery was like when I was there taking all these photos. We got to Point Reyes around 10 a.m. because we heard the parking lot was gonna be really full and the entire place was gonna be packed around noon. So we got there around opening, and thankfully the weather was slightly overcast with all the fog, and because of that, I think I was able to take a lot of photos that I love looking at when it comes to nature photography. I wasn't looking for anything specific to photograph on this day or even this entire weekend. But what I really did enjoy and kind of hoped for more of were these people wearing colorful outfits against the nature. We have this person in red, and as you can see, the red just pops out in the picture, especially with all the greens around them. This goes for any of the photos that I take. When I look at buildings, I want something contrasting. Although, as we know, I've been trying to do more of those tone-on-tone photographs. This one, I think, has to be my favorite picture from this hike. It's not even in focus, but something about it makes me so nostalgic, makes me a little moody. Think of, let's say, Retrograde by James Blake playing in the background. A little moody, and I think the blurriness just makes it so much better. Now, would I not have liked this picture if it was in focus? Maybe not as much, because I think that would just look like a regular nature photography. There's nothing wrong with that. Nature photography is surprisingly hard, but it's just not the type of photograph I myself personally enjoy seeing when I'm scrolling on Instagram or going on different websites for inspiration. At night, we headed over to a restaurant, sat outside, and got to enjoy the sunset. This over here is Lily, and she's the resident cat of the hotel. She likes to sleep in the social house, walk around the property, and to say hi to people. This has been maybe day 3 or 4 away from home, and I was starting to miss my cat. So having Lily there made me feel a little more comforting. There was a little bit of fog in the morning, but the weather cleared up and everything looked extremely beautiful. During happy hour, of course we had to get another one. The next morning was completely different. It was so foggy that I got a little too excited. I love the rain, I love cold weather, so to me, this was such a perfect morning. The greens looked even more luscious, and as the fog went away and the sun came back, I feel like I keep saying this word, but it was just beautiful. This, if you're wondering, is an axe throwing spot. And I think it's also dubbed as a chapel, where on their website, I think there's a picture of people getting married here. So yeah, especially on a beautiful foggy morning like this, an intimate ceremony here would be so beautiful. One thing I will say I wish I took more photos of was the restaurant on this foggy day. Because it was very foggy and chilly in the morning, the restaurant didn't let all the guests sit outside. We all had to be inside instead. I wish I got more silhouette photos of these people sitting by the windows, but because these were all hotel guests and everyone knew each other, I didn't want to interrupt anyone. The next time I find myself in an environment like this, it doesn't even have to be here specifically, but let's say if it's foggy outside or even raining outside during the day, maybe I can head to a diner or a coffee shop and get a lot of moody silhouette photos there. A few minutes ago, I mentioned that the fog went away and the sun came back. This was the result. I will admit it's a little cliche looking, but check out the next picture. Again, this is the axe throwing chapel. The scene right here with a pocket of light on the ground. If the blurry bird picture was my favorite from the hike, then this has to be my favorite from this entire stay. Oh, I should make this the thumbnail. I feel like it's been a minute since I took photos in LA. So next week, I'll see you with some new photos from Los Angeles. And in the meantime, if you have specific photo requests, let's say, where would you go and take photos if you're visiting LA for the very first time? What would you do for nighttime photos? Or something I've been wanting to do again was to mimic a style of a movie, such as this Wes Anderson inspired video that I did a while ago. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next week.